Welcome to the place. Yes, you did type in atheist. Yes, you did sort by new. And yes, you've got a Christian who has zero interest in debating, only discussing, raising our IQs, finding out what do we have in common, what can we agree on. Now, here's a comment that came in, and I can really appreciate this. This video is called, As an Atheist, Do You Think I Can Stop Believing Since... ... Okay, so I want to check out now a comment that I had received from Il Juro. And this is what he had to say. And I think he makes a good point. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I like how it starts out. Quote, I think you can be defined as an agnostic Christian. You believe in God, but you don't claim to know for certain. Just like how many agnostic atheists don't believe in any gods, but don't claim to know for certain that there are no gods. So the whole comment's great, but I think just the opening sentence pretty much displays the topic here for us. He's saying he perceives me as an agnostic Christian. I believe in God, but I don't claim to know that for certain. So and in another video I recently made, I explained this a little bit more in detail. In my mind, in my heart, I absolutely believe, and therefore I know. I choose to believe because Christians have that ability, whereas apparently atheists do not. That's what I'm learning from you. I choose to believe, therefore I know, and I believe it's real. In my mind, it's real. But if you said, Nick, but is it possible you're wrong? Then my answer would be absolutely yes, it's possible wrong. It's possible that I could be wrong about anything and everything I perceive to be real in my life. It could all be the Matrix. So does that change the fact that in my mind, in my faith, that I know this? For me, yes, I know. K-N-O-W, I know. I believe and I know. I choose to believe and I know. And to me, it's real. But could I be wrong? I could be wrong. And that's part of what makes it faith, because I'm choosing to believe. So for me, it's that simple. I don't have any kind of complex about it. For me, that doesn't mean I'm an agnostic Christian. I know I'd made reference that it almost would seem that way, because apparently, if you're a Christian, you're supposed to say, definitely, I'm absolutely right. There's no way I'm wrong. Well, okay. Personally, this is what I believe. But to say that about anything, to say that there's no way you could be wrong, well, then that's just pride. And Christianity largely teaches against pride. If there were one overwhelming sin that I keep seeing in the Bible that's like a major theme here in the Bible of what humans are not supposed to do, is to be prideful. So could I be wrong? I could be wrong about anything. Do I believe I'm wrong? No. Am I choosing to believe in something that I believe is not wrong? Yeah, I'm choosing to believe, because Christians can do that and apparently atheists cannot. There's a whole video about that as you're helping me understand how that works. I just don't see how it makes me agnostic to say that I could be wrong. Can you dig this? Me as an individual, I'm telling you how I perceive things. So I really don't know that you could say that this is wrong if this is what I'm saying I perceive as reality. Anything you believe in your mind is true. As long as it's in your mind. And in my mind, absolutely Christianity is real. God, Jesus, the Bible, all real. Could I be wrong? I could be wrong. But do I believe it's all true and real? Absolutely 100%. Could I be wrong? Yeah. Okay. That doesn't change the fact in my mind it's real. I don't see how that's agnostic. I think even in the Christian faith, I have to be open-minded to my perception of the Christian faith. Even that could be different than how it actually is. I'll give you an example. I think, and I've mentioned before, as far as struggles in my faith, about a decade ago, I really started struggling with the concept of hell. Jesus openly talks about hell, but what I'm not convinced of anymore, necessarily, I think it can be a matter of interpretation, because even when you look at Orthodox Christianity, I think that, originated in Russia or whatever it is, they weren't convinced of the concept that if you don't believe in Jesus in this lifetime, that you absolutely spend eternity in hell. And see, for me, I'm like, I think there's too much gray area and too many exceptions to the rule. As far as children, as far as babies, yes, there's a thing about King David's baby that was missed, it died after a few days or whatever, and he was given confirmation that you will see your child in heaven. But at what point, and the Christians make up this thing called the age of accountability. Okay, so when you can comprehend that you have sinned, then at that point, if you're not saved, then definitely you'll go to hell if you die that day. I think there's a lot of gray areas there, and I think even the Bible itself, there's mention where Jesus basically went to Sheol or Hades or whatever and preached to them, and many believed who were born before Christ. I think there's so many moving parts there. I don't know. What about Joshua Harris? And I talk about him openly. This year, after being a pastor of a mega church, he now is no longer part of the Christian faith, and he's alluding to the fact that he's gay now. That's another thing he's doing. He divorced his wife, he's left the church altogether, and he's hinting that he's gay. So what about that guy? Had he died a year ago, according to Christian logic, he'd be spending eternity in heaven. I mean, he was a pastor of a church, a very popular one. He wrote many books. Now he's not a believer anymore. What happens to his soul? There's one saved, always saved. I'm not even admitting that I know the answers. I don't know. That's something for God to sort out. But when I look at what Jesus actually said about loving your neighbor as yourself, about loving God most of all, and ultimately, but you can't really love God with all your heart if you can't love your neighbor as yourself. Like when I think of things like that and obeying God's commandments. So for me, that's my take on that. As far as, and let's look at the comment one more time. As far as agnostic Christian, I don't know. I think the most real version of being a Christian is admitting that you could be wrong about all of this. I think that proves your faith that much more because you're still choosing to believe beyond that. I think there definitely are things that I could be wrong about. I may get to heaven, and there's all these people in heaven that I never thought would be there. How did they end up here? How did that person not end up here? However it works. That's just one of many examples. Doing the best I can with understanding. I'm praying. I'm part of a church. I believe the Holy Spirit is real, and I believe the Holy Spirit teaches us things we cannot understand. That's where I'm at. You be the judge. You've watched a 7.5 minute video about whether or not I'm an agnostic Christian. I say absolutely not. I think I'm just more honest and open about the whole thing. I absolutely, totally believe it's all real, but that I could be wrong. I think that should be really everybody's opinion about anything. I mean, I perceive that I have a thumb, but I don't know. There could have been a computer chip put in my head to erase the memory of my thumb getting cut off, and this is actually a mechanical thumb. So can I say for a fact that this is absolutely my thumb? In my mind, I believe it's my thumb, but maybe there's something I don't know. But yet, I'm still going to hold on to the concept that this is actually my biological thumb and not some kind of robot part. There you go. Do you believe I'm an agnostic Christian, or do you believe by being open and honest that maybe I could be wrong, that actually in some way makes my faith stronger to me, the individual? Your thoughts belong right here.